Hi everyone, this is Dr. Konstantin. I'm a facial plastic surgeon and a facelift expert, and we're talking today about how to prepare for your facelift consultation. Now, preparation is very important because most people get only one facelift in their lifetime, so you're making this very important decision, and a consultation with a doctor is the most important part in the preparation for the procedure, and this is the time when you actually making a decision whether you're going to get a facelift with this particular surgeon or maybe you're going to continue looking for somebody else. And being prepared for the consultation will really help you to answer all your questions and get comfortable with your decision. Number one, you actually want to think about what are you looking to accomplish. So when you go to a doctor, when you have a consultation, and if you tell them, okay, this is how I want things to look, right? So you can look in the mirror, you can point to your face, you can show the doctor how you want the jawline to look, the neck to look, the cheeks, and go over all those areas that you feel are important. And this way the doctor can talk to you about all those areas, and the doctor might say, well, this is very realistic and this is what we can accomplish, or these are the things that we cannot accomplish with a facelift. Maybe some additional procedure would be needed. But if you are prepared, if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can have a good informed discussion with a doctor, and at the end of this discussion you would get a pretty good idea of what things gonna look like after the facelift is done, and this way you can make an informed decision of whether this is something that would be worthwhile to do, or you might change your mind and think of a different procedure. Number two, get all your questions written down. How many times I have a patient come in and say, oh, wait, I have so many questions. I just let me try to remember. What did I want to ask you, right? And when you are sitting with a doctor and you are put on the spot, and all of a sudden all those questions that you had before, they completely evaporate from your memory. And once you get home after the consultation, you say, oh my God, why didn't I ask this and that and something else? And then you have to follow up with your questions, and it just becomes so much more complicated, and some of the questions don't get answered. So definitely would not be an ideal process. So the best thing to do is just to write down all your questions. Some of those questions doctor is going to answer even before you get to ask them, just talking to you about the procedure. But others you might need to ask specifically about. And even more important, if you do more than one consultation, you really have to make a list, and you list all the doctors, and you write down all the answers from each particular doctor to a particular question, because after a while you're gonna forget which doctor told you what, and then you're back to square one. So keep a good record, make sure you ask all the questions and you write down the answers. Number three, research doctor's credentials. So when you talk to a doctor, you really want to know what this doctor specializes in. You can look at their education, what primarily they were trained in, and looking at the website of a doctor, you can get a pretty good idea what kind of surgeries this doctor does, and you want to make sure that the doctor is experienced in the field that's related to your areas of concern. So if you're talking about your facelift with somebody, you want to make sure that this doctor specializes in facelifts and does a lot of facial rejuvenation procedures day in and day out, as opposed to somebody who does many other surgeries and facelift is just one of them, and it's not really the bulk of the practice. So, and many other things you want to research so you can actually go and ask the doctor directly. How many cases have you done? What kind of results you're looking for in every patient, and just overall, if once you get an idea of what the doctor is saying about himself or herself on the website, you would know much better what questions to ask, just to get a clear idea of the doctor's credential and the personality and the results that you would be expecting to get with them. Number four, or actually it shouldn't be number four. To me, I think it should be number one, but you make your decision. So looking at before and after pictures is extremely important. And when you research in the doctor, the first thing I do when somebody tells me, "Oh, do you know Dr. So-and-so?" I say, "Well, I think I've heard the name, but let me check it out." And I go to the website before I go into education and credentials and anything else. I go to before and after pictures, right? Because if I look at before and after pictures and they look kind of maybe not so impressive, then I really don't want to research credentials, educations, or anything else, right? So this would be my biggest exclusion criteria. So look at a lot of before and after pictures on the internet just so you can gauge how good people can look after a facelift, and look for somebody of your facial type or of your age group. Obviously, everyone is different, so people with a different facial structure, they might get a completely different result from a facelift than you would be expecting to get. And once you research before and after pictures, you can talk to the doctor about specific photos on their website. Unfortunately, most doctors put a lot of before and after pictures on the website nowadays. So you can go to a specific case, specific patient, and ask them about the changes that happen after a facelift, and ask whether it would be realistic to expect something like that for yourself. Number 5. I think you should get a good idea of the price even before you get your consultation, because if you're expecting one price and you go through the whole process of research and the consultation of the doctor, and at the end you end up with the price that's just too high for you, and you say there's no way I can afford that, then you wasted all this time and energy, and especially it becomes very emotionally upsetting to people if they really like the doctor and they like the practice, but the price is just way too high for them. And this is something, the kind of situation that you definitely want to avoid. So get an idea, and a lot of times they would not be able to tell you the exact price. The doctor would say, or the staff would say, well, doctor has to take a look at you and just see how much work is required, but at least you can get a ballpark. So you say, well, from what would be the range that I should be expecting, so you know you actually comfortable with this price, and you go through all the process of the consultation and preparation, and you are not really disappointed at the end. So in conclusion, these are the recommendations for how to prepare for your consultation. I believe that preparation is very important. A facelift is something that most people do once in their lifetime, so it definitely pays to spend some time preparing for it. And this way you know exactly what you're getting. You're going to be comfortable with the price, you're going to be comfortable with the doctor, and overall it's going to be a smooth and a very positive experience.